Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for October 7th, 8th, and 9th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if you're new to my channel, what you want to do is, I would hope you watch the introduction at least once, but this will be tagged on to all the videos in the beginning. If you want to go straight, or if you're a cross-watcher and you want to go straight to the readings, then go right down there. There's a timestamp in the description, and you can just bypass this. Watch at least once though, please. Anyway, you know that when I'm doing the weekend, I use my Radley Valentine Angel Tarot cards, my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. I will pull one also from my Doreen and Grant Virtue Angels of Abundance. That's fairly new. And of course, my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, for this introduction, what we do is we look at the world, the universe at large, and I will be using my Waite Rider Traditional Tarot and my Colette Baron Reed The Good Tarot. Now, I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. Just remember though, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. I'm an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power. Whatever the words are, I try not to get too much in the way of it, okay? So higher power to me is God, Source, Holy Spirit, but to you, it may be somebody or something different. That's okay. Anyway, so what's going on here on the 7th? Just to kind of just do what's going on in the world. Mercury, which is in Virgo, will be trining, which is a good position with Pluto that still is retrograde in Capricorn. However, Capricorn is going to be going direct, and so what's going to happen is it is stationary right now. So Mercury is the planet of fast actions, fast energies. There's a lot of communications that comes with Mercury. Mercury likes to be in Virgo. That is a Earth planet. Capricorn is also an Earth planet. Pluto has been reconstructing it's been in a reconstruction mood since 2008 when it entered into Capricorn. So it is reconstructing a lot of things in the earthly realm. So the two of it, so you might hear some communication. We might hear something about what Pluto is doing. They're in a good position. They're liking each other. So the news may not necessarily be so harsh as it might be something that's very welcoming. However, on the 8th of October, that's when Pluto starts to go direct. Again, it's a stationary direct. It's almost like Pluto is just sitting there right now, and it's just kind of playing in its Capricorn world, and it's kind of deciding how we're going to reconstruct, because Pluto has had a lot of destruction in the world of Capricorn, and now because Pluto will be going into Aquarius soon enough, 2023, it goes back and forth a little bit into Aquarius, and that's going to be all about the reconstruction of our thoughts and how we look at things and how we think about things and how we learn. So that's all up here when it starts doing that. Capricorn is with what we're doing with our hands, what we're doing with our lives. It's very tangible reconstruction energy. So on the 8th, it's going to go direct, but it's called stationary direct. So it's just kind of sitting there right now. On the 9th of October, we have a full moon in Aries. Now, this full moon will also be playing with some of the planets too. So the full moon will be in conjunction with Jupiter, which is retrograde in Aries. So that's a really positive source. It's a really positive energy for us. It is sextile with Saturn and Mars. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius. So sextiling it's just kind of a, like a here or there. It's not necessarily really forceful, but it's not bad at all. In fact, it's kind of like a buddy that maybe you haven't seen for a while. However, the full moon in Aries will be squaring with Pluto in Capricorn. So that's where Aries is going to try to get Pluto to make some moves. It's kind of like telling Pluto, hey, you know what? We're done with a lot of this garbage. Start doing the reconstruction part on the physicality part. So It's going to be, but we don't know how Pluto's going to react to that. We don't know how Pluto is going to be. Is Pluto going to go along with that Aries energy? You know, remember we had the new moon in Libra, which is all about balance, and then we have this fiery Aries moon. And remember, it is, even though it's, you know, sextile isn't necessarily a strong partnership, it is still a partnership with Jupiter also in Aries too. So Aries wants good stuff. Aries wants stuff to start changing for the positive, and it's trying to push Pluto a little bit more into making some better changes, okay? Better choices. Pluto, it's time for you to make some better choices. So the full moon will be in Aries, in October 9th. That will be at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Time. And then it was interesting, Pluto goes direct at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Time also. So there are some fives. So that could be some change. Either way, these are some strong energies, and it could either be something very positive or it might be something that's just not darn too pretty. Okay? Anyway, let's see what we've got going now. Let's go on and see what we have with the Waite Rider Tarot. What do we have from our higher power for this weekend, and especially with the full moon? And regardless of what the full moon is, and regardless the energies that try to square it or oppose it or try to rough it up a little bit, it is still a great time to release, relinquish, and request. And the more we put out the positive energy, the more that gets picked up also. So, like I said, release what's, or I've said in the past, release what's no longer needed, release what's holding you back, relinquish what's no longer needed, and request the good stuff, because good stuff it's okay to ask for. Okay, we've been kind of conditioned not to expect miracles, and to me, miracles happen all the time. So let's see what we've got here. Remember, anything reversed has stronger energies. For me, let's see what we've got. So now we have a 3 of Cups. So the number, and it was reversed. Now this is a celebratory energy. This is something like good things are happening. Things are moving. It's an emotional energy here too, because Cups is our Aquarius. It is our Pisces. It is our Cancer. It's also our Scorpio energy. We're about to turn into Scorpio. Scorpio is the next season. Neptune is still retro in Pisces, so it's going deep and looking into our subconscious. What is it that we've been wanting? But this is, again, so this is Cups. This is 3. 3 has celebratory energy, creative energy, and it's the power of 3. So power of 3 energy is not a bad thing to do, especially around the full moon. So get a couple of buddies, get a couple of friends, and really put out the positive energy. And you can do with the full moon 3 days before, 3 days after. All of that does have an effect. But this is celebration. This has things coming to a better positioning. I know sometimes, the universe doesn't necessarily feel like it's, has a lot to celebrate about, but something is going on, something emotionally, something spiritually is going on. There's a spiritual, maybe a spiritual celebration about to occur. Here we go. Next card is, now we have a 10. So 10 is a transitional number. We have a 1, new beginning. A 0 is God's source energy. But transition means we're moving on. We're moving. We're making some changes here. And the Wheel of Fortune this is a major arcana. So this is a very high universal card. And this is kind of saying there's been a lot of spiritual energy, that from that 0 to 9, there's been a lot of spiritual makeovers, spiritual ascensions, and now we're transitioning. If you think about what comes after transition, we have 11, which is justice, we have the 13, which is death, we have, the devil. We have a little bit more to go through, but on the other side of all that becomes the star, becomes the sun, becomes the world. So there is a lot of positive. It's just keep going. We just have some more to go through, but on the flip side, there is much better energies waiting us. Here we go. Next card is Now, this is again reversed. This is our rods. Rods are our fire sign. So there's Aries, full moon, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, passionate, burning, determined energy, very consuming energy. So it takes the spirituality of the cup energy and it just makes it flame. It just makes it go after what you want. Now, twos are partnerships, decisions, crossroads. It could be, it could just be something that we have some choices about. The two of rods is a positive decision, is a decision that, it's like, here he is. He's got his two. He's got his hand on one. So it does look like a decision has been made. But he has the world awaiting him also. So this is a positive decision. This is a positive movement. But we also have this. So even though he has his hand on this, it doesn't necessarily mean that he is totally on board or totally, with this decision. He could change his mind. But it is something where you really step up. The two of rods is stepping up, and it's just, I do feel like there's a decision that's been made. Okay, so now the two other energies we haven't talked about is our air energy or our sword energy. That is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We are in Libra season. Lots of stuff going on with Gemini. Mars is in Gemini right now. It is direct for the moment, and we have Saturn, which is direct for the moment. It will be, switching over to, I'm sorry, it's retro. It will be going direct pretty soon. Anyway, an Aquarius is our thought processes, our making plans, our thinking things through. Also, it could be about messages received. And then we have our Pentacles or our earth energy, and that is our Capricorn, our Taurus, and our Virgo energy. And all of them, Mercury in Virgo, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. It's been there for since 2018, I think it was. I think we talked about that. It'll be there till 2024. And then, of course, we have the good old Pluto, which is just sitting there right now in Capricorn. So let's see what we have. One card here. So here we go. Okay, we have the Queen of Water. Now, all the court cards have dual energies. So one is the underlying energy, so such as the Queen. The Queen's underlying energy is water or cups, okay, emotional, it's fluid. This is also water energy. So Page would have the underlying energy would be Pentacle, earth energy. It is, Page is very adventurous and wants to start on new beginnings. Knight's underlying energy is fire energy, or so it would be the rod's energy, and their underlying energy. While the Page wants to start, the Knight is like, okay, let's go get them. The water energy is emotional, caring. It's very spiritual energy. And then, of course, the King has the air energy. So this is water. This is cups. Very emotional time. So this would be a time that just really, you're going to really want to watch. You're going to want to watch your emotional energies, okay? I have spoken about energies as almost like a currency, so you really want to make sure you're not spending it foolishly. You're not spending it on something that's not going to give you a really good return. So I know that we don't have any earth energy in here. It's water. So the Queen, though, is very caring, is very loving. I'm just kind of feeling like the Queen is just, just doesn't necessarily feel the, she doesn't feel, I'm kind of feeling like this Queen is borderline with hope, okay? She's just wanting and she's hoping and she's wishing. At the same time, she's feeling things extremely deeply. So something's going on with her, but she's also royalty. She's also, steps up. She also puts her, even though her feelings are right out there and just right for everyone to see right now, she does know her job. She does know her duty. So something with this emotional energy, very fluid energy, spiritual energy. So this is, and again, I kind of feel this thing between her vacillating a little bit between a loss of hope, and yet hoping for miracles. Okay, so something about her is interesting, especially since we have celebration, we have wonderful choices, we have this, but even though things are moving forward, like I said, there's going to be some weird, it's still weird times. We still have that because we live in a weird universe right now. So the Queen, I'm just feeling like the Queen is kind of between a loss of hope and hoping for a miracle. I just feel like she's just a little bit in between there. So let me know what you're thinking about this. How did you read this? Because many of you do, so I really appreciate that. Take a moment, please, because this helps. This does help to like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. Keep me going, and I appreciate you doing that. Also comment. I do love hearing from you. So why don't we start our readings now? Hello, my Leos. Well, we've got a very powerful full moon right now. It is, Aries, and it's got all the, all the stuff I talked about in the introduction. There's a lot of energy this time. We can use that energy to make some big changes too. Okay, not always easy. In fact, it doesn't feel like it's going to be totally easy, but it can be something extremely positive. So you have to believe, and you cannot, don't knuckle down, don't knuckle under, okay? Be strong and be brave, my Leos. Anyway, let's see what we have here for my Leos. What do we have? Because I do feel like be strong, be brave, and don't let defeat you. Here we are. Or the thought of defeat you. Here we go. Okay, nothing is reversed. First card is the 5 of water. Well, this is that everything happens for a reason card. Okay, and we're like, well, I don't really like that reason. But 5 of water means, everything does happen for a reason, but the reason will show itself. Not necessarily here, not necessarily this weekend, though sometimes it can do that, but it will show itself as you progress, as you move forward. Now, if you want to stay stuck, then you're just going to be stuck. But as you're moving forward, like I said, don't let life defeat you. Keep moving forward. The 5 is about change, positive, negative. Water is our Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Pisces still has a lot of things going on with it. Just that energy is extremely strong, deep, subconscious type of wishes, dreams, hopes, things like that. Maybe you're not seeing your dreams and your hopes coming up as quickly as you want. Sometimes it is about waiting for perfect timing too. So this is also about searching for that silver lining and keeping your vibrations up and keeping yourself optimistic during this weekend, okay? Things not turning out the way you'd hope, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilled milk. Next card is strength. Strength. Now, my Leos, this is actually the Justice card. Remember, Redley Valentine switches the 8 and the 11 in the major arcana. So this is also justice. So there is strength in justice. There is justice in strength. The strength card does have a lot of Leo energy. Usually there's lions here, and this is Archangel Ariel, who has a lot of earth energy too. So there is that Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy with Ariel, but there's also the lion energy. There's also the strength energy. There's also the, you need to keep persevering energy. Don't let life knock you out. Okay? So we have that 1-1. So we have a 5-1-1-1-1, new beginning, new beginning. 1 is, again, new beginning, 10, transition, and again that 1. 1 plus 1 is a 2, and so we can have some choices. We have a choice to whether to keep going forward, or we can have a choice to not go forward, okay? And like I said, you could stay in the 5 of water, and you could be just kind of like, why me, why me? But the strength card pushes you forward and saying, why? Because there's more. There's more for you, my Leos. Anyway, like I said, so this is strength, but this is also justice. So I have to kind of get that. Justice is the 11. Justice means that justice will be served. So strength is great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. So, this is part of this is to let love reign, okay? It's not always easy to forgive, but when you forgive another or when you forgive yourself, it just lightens your energy. And this is a weekend of really raising vibrations. Okay, next card here. The King of Water. So we have a 511-115. We have a king. Remember, underlying energy for the king is the air. Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. All of them are heavy players right now. And this is water again. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Pisces is the heavy hitter for our energies here right now too. Now also Scorpio. Scorpio is in the South Node, so it is about dealing with the past and dealing possibly with your own past and your own emotional past. The King of Water has the intellect of the air energy, the intellect of the sword, but he also feels very, very deeply. And the King of Water doesn't sit in a pity potty, in a pity pot, okay? The King of Water trusts. The King of Water goes out and is more than what he is. You know, some people would say, again, it goes back to don't let the energies push you. Don't let the energies hold you back. Don't let them defeat you, because there's a lot of energies out there that makes you the warrior, my Leos, makes you the one that's going to really stand up and to make some big changes here too. And again, the full moon, release, relinquish, request. Release what's holding you back, relinquish what you don't need anymore, and request all the good stuff, okay? So there is still some changes here. You make a choice. Do you go forth or do you stand still? This is all about going forth, okay? This is all about embracing this future, embracing the changes, and going forth in having more things to change, more things to embrace, okay? So the King of Water is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. And the King of Water also says it's safe to love. It is safe to love. And part of that love is for yourself too. So the energies are a little conflicted. The energies are a little bit emotional, are a little bit, kind of like, well, what do I do? What do I do? No, you don't go backwards. You go forwards. It is not a time for you to, to dwell in the past. It's a time for you to go forward into your future, because your future is, my Leos, you're the lion, you're the king of the, and I know that they say, the king of the animals. How's that? We'll put it that way. You're the king, so just believe in it. But the king's crown is heavy. The king's crown is heavy. So that it's, your responsibilities are heavy along with your royalty. Okay, let's see what we have for my Leos here. Trapped in fear. So we have an 8. We have a trapped in fear. So 8 is unlimited opportunities, unlimited possibilities. And this is really, we didn't have these cards, but I'm thinking that if you have any Scorpio in your natal chart, for some reason I'm thinking these two cards, the 5 of Water and the 8, I think they might have been in Scorpio, but I'm not quite sure about that. But that's if you cross-watch, okay? The trapped in fear, this is kind of a, it's kind of a opposite, okay? The 8 says unlimited opportunities, unlimited possibilities, but yet it's hard to move forward. It's hard to make those changes. It's hard to, to accept that new job. It's hard. It's just hard. And a lot of this has to do with stinking thinking. A lot of this has to do with you can make changes. The only one that's holding you back, the only thing to fear is fear itself, okay? And my other saying, fear is a tool of the devil. And generally when you're trapped in fear, when your brain is not letting you process, except for the fear, it keeps those good ideas from coming in. So again, it is a good weekend to keep those vibrations high and to believe and to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, my Leos. Okay? So again, let's see what we have here. What do our angels of abundance have for our Leos here? Release your fear. Release your fear. Relinquish it. Give it to God, source, higher power, angels. Tell them you need some help. Okay? Here we go. Visualize abundance in all forms. Didn't we have this recently? Okay. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you'll experience. It's not easy to do this. It isn't easy, especially when we feel like like we might be spiritually impoverished. Okay? So that's the thing. Visualize what would you look like? What would you feel like if you had everything you needed or everything you wanted? Or if you had everything that came into reality. This is a time. This is that time. This is that weekend. So make good use of it. Okay, let's see what crystal or energy for my Leos we have. Oops. I'm going to pick up my tablecloth. Here we go. Labradorite. I like labradorite. Shamanic journeying, brave. Magical power, higher awareness. Well, if you're trapped in fear, this would be very good just for its bravery. My Leos, my Leos, my Leos. Not always an easy weekend, not always easy energies around you, but you can turn this around into something marvelous. Really, I do believe that. Okay, my Leos, comment. Let me know what's going on with you. As always, my Leos, do the like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. Now, as always, my Leos, know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.